This series was brought to you by Happy Dingo. He both recommended and bought the game for me to play through. Links to his social media are in the description for this video. Thank you so much. I'm gonna love this. And with that, it's a girl, and she's playing Angels with Scaly Wings. On camera too. Hi. This is my face. This is my face. I like it. Okay. So, all that I know of this game so far is that it's like a murder mystery, potentially a date sim as well, and that it's about dragons. And also like a visual novel. But outside of that, it's nothing. That's nothing else that I know. So, let's give it a go. Detecting user profile. User profile not found. Please enter your name. Do I have to type something in now? Molly. Choose a color. Green? Does this look right? No, I don't really like that shade of green. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Can I just pick the color? Oh, more colors. Ooh. Wow, that is a lot of colors to pick through. I like the second page. I think I'll pick orange. Orange seems like my deal. Yep. User profile confirmed. Before we start, please review the following information. Controls. Left click or enter to advance. Space to advance text only. Yep. Right click brings up the menu. F toggles full screen. Use the mouse wheel. Okay, I should probably put down the Steam controller and actually use keyboard and mouse. Okay. I'm not taking any of this information in. Oh, if I view this information again, I can do it from the menu. That'll be all. Okay, cool. Right. The year is 20XX. Only recently has humanity discovered a portal that leads into a different world, populated with a race of intelligent, talking dragons. I was one of the few to travel to this world, but maybe I should start at the beginning. It all began when we discovered a strange device in the middle of nowhere during one of our expeditions. A portal. Is this Stargate? Is this like Stargate, but crossed with, Dinotopia? Anyway. I had heard about similar technology before, though that had been more of an experimental level. From what I knew, other portals had been created in the past and were under construction for mass application. As for this one in particular, though, we did not know who had built it, nor when, or why we found it in the wilderness where we did. What was more exciting to us was the fact that it was functional. After our first tests, we found there was someone else on the other side who was in possession of a similar portal, and our attempts at communication through letters were successful. But in the end, the machine's extraordinary demand for power meant we needed to act quickly, as we wouldn't be able to keep the portal open much longer. When we made this known to the other side, we received a very unexpected reply, a letter of invitation. After some deliberation, it was decided to accept their hospitality and send a person to the other side. There was an individual who took the job almost immediately. Is that me? Oh, no, it's someone else. Thank God. Riza is Quieto? Riza is Quieto. Okay, I'll go with that. I knew him, or rather, had known him. We'd attended the same school back then, and even had a few classes together. We never really were close friends, but we talked to each other occasionally, hung around the same crowd sometimes. However, we still went our separate ways in the end. I wasn't sure what to think about the whole thing, but he had to have known what he was doing. He was certainly brave. Either that, or just very, very stupid. While I wasn't sure which, his courage was applauded by others. After all, he couldn't have possibly known who or what would await him on the other end of the portal, and if he did meet someone there, who knew what kinds of intentions they might have? Not that any speculation on our part would have made a difference. When the day finally came, though, he went, with applause, echoing across the area, equipped only with the clothes he wore, his multi-tool, a gun, and a device on his wrist that acted as a PDA. So they didn't send him with a smartphone. Okay, but what is he supposed to play? Does he get games on it? Then we waited. The crowd that was applauding him slowly dispersed when the enthusiasm died down, as there was nothing for us to do but wait and speculate. Approximately 8 hours later, we received our first message from him. While we had assumed the portal led to another in a different country, or maybe on a different continent, the reality turned out to be much more foreign. The situation he described to us was so outlandish that we initially took it as a joke. Very bad joke, maybe, with even worse timing and no punchline at all. It soon became clear to us, though, that we must have made one of the most important discoveries since the dawn of mankind. Finding the portal had been remarkable in itself, but this took it to a completely different level. From what he described about the place, or more accurately, its inhabitants, we surmised that it could not be part of Earth at all. We call them dragons, because according to Razor, that's what they were, or at least what they resembled most. Even though we found it hard to believe, it had been these dragons who sent us all the letters, and what Razor found on the other side of the portal was a whole civilization of them. They could talk, write books, had buildings, and electricity. In many ways, their society was actually very similar to our own. So who were they? And where was this place? Could they be aliens? Our speculations led us to conclude otherwise. After all, we knew about the existence of thousands of planets millions of light years away that may have been theoretically habitable. Yet even then, we had never found conclusive proof in regards to actual alien life forms. Some people brought up quantum mechanics and parallel universes, but in the end, all of this was just conjecture and an ultimately fruitless endeavour, since we neither had the means nor the resources to explore these possibilities in greater detail. So, if this is a parallel universe, does that mean there's like a dragon version of us? Because that'd be kind of cool. That'd be pretty cool. But then, that'd also suck for me, because there'd be me as a dragon, and I would still have to be a human. Dragon School. I think there's just one more thing worth mentioning before I move on. The previous isolation had been mutual. They hadn't known about any other intelligent life form beyond their own. Their portal had only recently been discovered, and was technology previously unknown to them, and had just as we had myths about dragons, they had myths about us. Shit. Humans are scary, man. That was what we knew about them so far. And as interesting as learning those things and debating their cultural significance was, we didn't really know what we should make of it all. Razor apparently was sure of what he was doing though, as he eventually let us know that he had agreed on a trade. We were to give them a few of our PDA devices, which contained vast amounts of knowledge dwarfing even that of encyclopedias. In return, they would supply us with generators. So they'd get the internet. They'd get the internet, but our internet. But then, like, which books would they choose? Maybe I'm reading too into this. Overall, they didn't seem as technologically advanced as we had been, but they did surpass us in that one aspect. Their means of generating energy seemed sustainable. Not only that, but evidently also quite efficient. We certainly would be able to put technology like that to good use, and trading mere past knowledge of the human race for something more tangible was a good call on his part. That was where I came in. My prior experience in both biology and sociology made me a good fit to deliver our PDA devices for the trade. And while in the Dragon's world, waiting for the prototypes of our generators to be manufactured by them, I would act as an ambassador on humanity's behalf. What a way to make a first impression by a display of mutual goodwill. Everyone benefits and everyone goes home happy. All is well. At least, that was the plan. Despite the images that living, talking dragons might conjure up in some people's minds, I didn't even think of bringing a weapon myself, considering that they were reportedly friendly and peaceful enough. Mate, you always have to bring a gun. You always bring a gun. Even if it's like a water gun. You might meet a witch and you'll be like, pew pew, I've got water, and they'd be like, well, whoa, Jesus Christ, I'm fucking melting, mate. There was no need for me to fear potential ill intentions like Razor did when he had stepped into unknown territory, and acting as humanity's ambassador, I had to do my best to uphold a high standard in fostering this diplomatic relationship. When the time came for me to step through the portal, all my mental preparedness vanished. My anxiousness was fueled by all the questions lurking in my head, just as the machine started to do its work. Would it hurt? Who would I meet on the other side? Would I come out with black stuff over my armor? What if they really weren't so friendly and just made Razor write those letters with the pretense of appearing friendly, only to lure us into the den of man-eating monsters and certain doom, with us ending up as nothing more than a tasty afternoon snack? Maybe I should have brought a weapon after all. Yeah, even if it's like a serrated spoon. Mate, you could have even gotten one of those, like... It's like one of those survival things, but it fits into your wallet. It's like the size of a credit card. It has like a knife, a compass, a thing for a flint. Like, dude, did you even at least bring that? Suddenly, I felt a shiver coursing throughout my whole body and beyond when I disintegrated, as if every cell, every atom of my body was torn from me and pulled into a different direction. That sounds painful. Or at least uncomfortable. I saw darkness and light, painting patterns in the stars as I travelled, and images rapidly flashed before me of things unseen and unspoken, both horrifying and beautiful. It was an experience unlike any other, yet over in just a split second. Then it was dark. I could only see a patch of lighter colour contrasting with its dark surroundings as my vision started to clear. Its edges got sharper, and the patch of light slowly took shape, giving me the distinguished outline of a reptilian head and an array of horns spouting from it. Good shit. And slowly into focus. They have a collared shirt, a necktie, and glasses. So naturally, I'm going to make them the standard nerdy pom, as you do. It was a dragon, and as I could see, a dragon who not only had a pair of round glasses, but also wore a burgundy tie around its neck. Remy. In the name of our people, I bid you welcome. If I may introduce myself, I'm Remy, your guide and ambassador, a representative of our council. The dragon spoke. It was one thing to have heard and read about this, but something else entirely to have one standing in front of me in flesh and blood and tongue. It was good that all my mental preparedness had disappeared when I was teleported, because nothing could have prepared me for this. Sorry, I imagine you might still feel the effects of the teleportation. Drowsiness or weakness is not unusual, as is fainting on spontaneous emptying of your bowels, bladder or stomach. How do you feel? Oh, well that's good. Rendered speechless, I'd totally forgotten that I was shouldering the burden of representing my people to them as well. So much for being professional, but at least he gave me a good excuse for my blunder. I think I'm alright? Well, I'm glad to hear that. Maybe we should go before it gets too dark. Come with me, please. So I followed the dragon, not straying too far from him, as the sun had already departed for the day, and the remaining light diminished by the minute. It's getting hard to see where I'm going. Sorry about that, but we had a good reason to schedule your arrival like this. We did not want you to be ambushed by a crowd, so we had to keep your exact time and date of arrival secret. Thanks. I suppose like an event like this would make me a celebrity of sorts. It'd be the same if one of you came to us. It's quite an understatement. Some people here are rather superstitious. They might regard you or any of your kind as divine, I suppose. It's kind of unflattering. We view you as like really, really awesome super horses to ride into battle. Or more, but we're not going into that. Really? How so? We do have certain myths that involve humans, and as such. Oh, I suppose the history lesson will have to wait for another time. Here we are. Not gonna lie, he's cute. Or at least I think they're cute. Not gonna lie. Wow, the backgrounds are just fantastic in this game. Like someone went to a hell of a lot of time and effort. I can't tell whether this is like CG rendered or, you know, painted or whatever, but it looks fantastic. By this point, it had gotten so dark that I could barely make out the building before us. I briefly wondered whether they might have streetlights elsewhere, or or if they just did not require any due to possible enhanced eyesight or night vision. I could vaguely see the dragon, his light colours still visible within the blackness that engulfed the area, rear up and manipulate the door handle with one of his forepaws. Nice room. I'm really having trouble with sense of scale though, because like, are these dragons colossal? Are they like people sized? Or are they like the size of a dog? Could I put a saddle on it? Could I ride it? Nice. Hinges creaking, the door opened, and with the flick of a switch, the apartment was flooded with light, blinding me after all the time we'd just spent without it. This is where you will live for the time being. It's fully stocked, but in case you need anything else, I left you a note with a few phone numbers. It is getting rather late, so I will have to take my leave now. In any case, someone will come and meet you tomorrow morning. Thank you, Remy. Have a good night. Until we meet again. I would kiss that dragon. I hope I get to kiss the dragon. With a nod, Remy left the apartment, mindful enough to close the door behind himself. Surveying the room, I considered the events that had just transpired as my gaze met the window. I could see movement outside, and as I drew nearer, startled, I could hear the footsteps in the grass moving away quickly. Assuming it must have been the dragon I just met, I thought nothing of it as I went to bed and slowly succumbed to the sweet allure of sleep overdue. Sleep sounds so good. I spent a few moments thinking about my role, my mission, and what it meant to be here now. Choices. I felt responsibility placed on my shoulders. I was eager for the adventure to come. Look, on the one hand, overbearing responsibility, but on the other hand, being surrounded by really cute dragons that you could potentially kiss. Look, I'm gonna say I'm eager for the adventure. So many possibilities and prospects raced through my mind. Truth be told, the thought of being able to meet an entirely new species and civilization excited me. As I was going to be one of the first to truly experience their society with its own little quirks, differences, and similarities, I couldn't help but feel like some sort of modern Vasco da Gama or Marco Polo. Okay, but society or dragons? Because, like, I'm not gonna lie, dragons are great. Like, to me, probably second only to foxes. Maybe I would even write a book about the whole experience after it's all over. I was sure it would become a hit, all things considered. At any rate, this was going to be fun. Like, that is the opposite of me. I'd be sitting there freaking the fuck out, and I would not sleep. Oh, this is ominous. Inception. Chapter 1. Okay, so that was our prologue. Mysterious hooded figure by a portal. Interesting. Yay, morning. But wait, did I get anything to eat? I woke from uneasy dreams about... God, try again. I woke from uneasy dreams looking at an unfamiliar ceiling. Just for a moment, I wondered where I was before the events of last night all came back to me. I know that feel, bro. After a good stretch, I looked around the room, illuminated by the sunlight coming in from the window. Outside, in the distance, the portal I had emerged from proudly stood on the peak of a small hill. Getting ready, I noticed something lying on the table. It was the note Remy had left for me in case I needed anything, along with his own home phone and work number, and there were also... Who uses a home phone number anymore? Get with the times! Along with his own home phone number and work number, there were also some numbers for delivery of food and other necessities, as well as emergency and even janitorial services. He had certainly thought of everything, even though I now had to wonder what a dragon plumber might look like. Yeah, actually I could dig that. My musings were interrupted when the doorbell rang. When I opened the door, I was met by another dragon. Who is this? They look like a copper. Maybe like a fair Bobby? Oi, mate. Oh, security. Okay. Well, that is certainly not what I was expecting. Hello, Sebastian. Hello, you must be Molly. I'm Sebastian, and I'll be your escort or security, I suppose. Usually I work for police, though. Nice to meet you. So I would have been right to make them a Bobby. Come on. He seemed a lot smaller than Remy, and when he somewhat nervously extended his arm towards me, I noticed he apparently only walked on his hind legs, the two forelimbs instead of having distinct arms, hands, and fingers. I hope like fully functional arms, not like little Tyranno arms. Ooh! Shake his hand. Don't shake his hand. Kiss his... I'm gonna kiss his hand. When I took his hand into mine... I'm sorry, I have to giggle. The game's letting me kiss the dragon. Yay. When I took his hand into mine, preparing to kiss it, I could feel the individual bumps on his and scales on his rough skin. Nice to meet you, too, Sebastian. So, where are you taking me? He didn't seem to like that. Straight to business, eh? We're going to visit the planet, planet is plant. Straight to business, eh? We're going to visit the plant where they're making your generators. There's some news for you, or so I've heard. Reza will be there too. Sounds great. Just follow me. While we walked, I was under the impression we were purposefully avoiding the busier parts of town instead of straying towards the edges and small alleys, as to not garner too much attention. Even then, we got the occasional stare. After just a couple of minutes, we arrived at our destination where we were met by Reza, as well as yet another dragon, a vicious-looking beast that didn't stay too close to him. This looks like the cover to a young adult novel. I would probably kiss them both. Hey! Reza, long time no see. How true that is. Good to finally see another human face around here. What a coincidence to have you, of all people, show up. Yeah, I guess those degrees aren't so useless after all. Educational humour. By the way, he's your friend. Just my bodyguard. Same as yours. Don't bother with him. He doesn't talk much. I'd bet he'd win in a fight with mine. He looks grumpy. Just like you. No, I don't want to shit-talk Sebastian, because Sebastian's adorable. He does look grumpy, but that's very rude. Just like you, I guess. Just like Bart. Very funny. The two dragons exchanged a few words, and as I met the gaze of the larger... Oh, fuck, I haven't read that word before. Tenebrous? I think it might be tenebrous. As I met the mage of the... Fuck. The two dragons exchanged a few words, and as I met the gaze of the larger, tenebrous dragon a few paces from us, Sebastian turned towards me and spoke up again. Hey Molly, this is Maverick. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, whatever. Just don't expect me to give you any special treatment like everyone else's and we'll be good.
What are you talking about?
So you're saying you haven't noticed the stairs and how they all treat you like you're the next messiah or something?
No, I just thought... We're not the ones making a big deal out of this. You are. We're just here to get what we agreed on, and then we'll be gone. If anything, I'd actually prefer it if you left us alone. But you're the one who insists on following me around everywhere I go. Rude. Well, fuck. A growl escaped the darker dragon's trembling lips as he bared his teeth at Reza. Alright, that's quite enough. Let's all go inside, shall we? After you. Grumps. The crisis was quickly averted as we entered the building, which was characterized by its many floors, high ceilings, and long, narrow hallways as Sebastian led us to our destination. Oh, hello! This one's cute. Well, to be fair, they're all cute. Now, shut up, phone. Go away. What kind of voice would you have? No, Sebastian's got a high pitch. This new bloke's got a deep one. There you are. I was waiting for you. So, are you sporty or something, or are you like a lab tech? Ah, you've got a pencil behind your fin? Is that like an ear fin thing? Or would that be like an ear? Or like... I don't know, man. Wait a minute. I thought we were going to meet the guys from production. What are you doing here? They're only coming in later today, so you'll just have to make do with me. I might actually change Sebastian's voice to a Bobby then. I see. Well, Molly, this is Anna. She kind of manages this building, though actually she's more involved with the research wing rather than production and engineering. Yeah, that's better. Nice to meet you. My pleasure. I have something for you, by the way. It'll take them a while to make all the generators that we promised, but we've got one for you here. Feel free to send it home and give it a test. That's great. I'll take it. Looks a little small if you ask me. Don't underestimate its power. Oh, and do be careful not to drop it. Sure. I'll be waiting outside while you do your thing, Molly. I suppose I'll wait outside for you as well. What thing? Oh, have you brought the PDA? Of course. Here you go. Alright, now, to give this thing a test run. The PDA lit up as her hand swiftly moved around its interface in calculated motions. Would they have to worry about the claws, like, breaking the screen? By the way, would you consider letting me run some tests on you as well? It would only take a drop of your blood. What? Why? I work in biology, so obviously this kind of thing would be very interesting to us. I'd share the results with you, of course. Sure, why not? Great! She was quick to produce a small device from a drawer, which from a glance reminded me a lot of a test tube. Now, if you would give me your hand, please. Are you blushing? She looks like she's blushing. Are you blushing? As I reached out to her, she took my hand in hers before she pressed the device into the back of my hand. I winced in as pain jolted through my hand. Something sharp drove itself through my skin, and shortly afterwards, a droplet of blood was sucked into the tube attached to the small needle. Oh, is that your evil face? Your evil scheming face? I don't trust you. Thanks. You're welcome? System, you gave Anna your blood. That's well, that's certainly, when you take it out of context, that's certainly weird. You gave Anna your blood, not Anna asked for a DNA test, so you gave some blood. Just, you gave your blood. That's a bit weird. Looks like your PDA is good, by the way, so we're just about done here. And since we're both in biology, it could be interesting if you want to meet me some other time. Here's my number. Alright. Score! Cute Dragon gave me her number. See you soon. Blush. Smirk. I'm still trying to figure out her motives. What's her deal? Is she one of those weird kinds of dragons that's like super into humans? Like, you know, maybe has a human sonar or something? Well, that was interesting. Did she ask you for your blood too? Yeah. Did you give it to her? Yeah. Oh, well, it's your choice. We've got no idea what they might do with it, though. I'm getting hungry. How about some breakfast? I'm all for it. I can't stand early mornings like these. That shouldn't be a problem. There's a cafe not far from here. What do you say, Mavis?
I wouldn't mind to grab a bite myself.
That settles it then. Okay. Well, I think before we get into this breakfast state, I might actually wrap it up here. So, I'm actually quite enjoying this. The dragons are all quite endearing in their own way. I've never actually played a visual novel before, so this is really, really cool. Yeah, it's really, really awesome. Thank you so much for buying it for me, Happy. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope to see you next time. Also, if you prefer having the webcam instead of the face rig, let me know. That would be really helpful. Okay, bye!